What's up, YouTube? This is GroudonEmpire, and I am back for another episode of Route Global 1000, episode 21. Last episode, you probably witnessed, we had... If you didn't, by the way, if you did not check out the last episode, I highly recommend you watch the last episode before watching this episode. In case you don't want to get spoiled, or maybe you don't care about the last episode, you just want to watch this, it's fine if you don't care about me spoiling it. At the beginning of every episode, I almost always spoil the last... almost always give a recap of the last episode, so yeah, that's the heads up. So last episode, we ran into, two games. We went 1-1. We split both of them. And what I've noticed with this team is that we have Venusaur, Mega Venusaur, and Cresselia weaknesses, right? Like, those Pokemon pretty much almost always I lose versus them. And last time we saw Mega Venusaur, however, it wasn't on the same team as a Cresselia, and we stood a really good chance. In fact, they didn't even bring the Mega Venusaur. Second game, it was versus a very standard team, however, it had a Cresselia, and my team cannot deal with the Cresselia. So in order to deal with that, I changed up my Kangaskhan. As you can see, this is a new Kangaskhan. It's not the level 100 one I had. It's a new one. It's a special Kangaskhan with Shadow Ball, Seismic Toss, Ice Beam, and Flamethrower. And the Reuniclus is for Mega Venusaur. It can Calm Mind and recover on almost like all the defensive Pokemon out there, and then it can start Psychicking everything, and it has Shadow Ball for Aegis Slash, and for, of course, Cresselia, as it can really deal well with that. And I didn't borrow, but I got the set and idea of Reuniclus from Cool Story Brobat on Smogon. If you can check that guy's account on Smogon if you're interested. That individual is a very extremely good Smogon player. Anyway, so I'll just click the challenge button. We're gonna start. Our current rating is 18 and 15. I want to talk a lot about. Oh my god, I can't talk today. I wanted to talk a bit more about the Kangaskhan set that I'm using. Seismic Toss with Parental Bond. It always does 100% 100 HP damage. It's pretty much a 2-hit KO on all non-defensive Pokemon. On defensive Pokemon, it's a 3-hit to 4-hit KO, right? So it's crazy. And some defensive Pokemon, it's a 2-hit KO, so it's still awesome, you know? We just found our opponent. So they have a Mega Mawile and they have a Mega Lucario potential. They do have a Cresselia. I do feel like bringing a Reuniclus would be nice. But at the same time, I do feel like leading with Kangaskhan would be awesome. Okay, so I think a Garchomp lead would be nice. I can set up Stealth Rock, so the Dragonite loses its scale. The Rotom Heat takes big damage on when it comes in. And Mawile, if there's a Mawile lead, I can use Stealth Rock and then I can use Earthquake. Or no, I can use Earthquake and then I can use Stealth Rock. So that's pretty, right? So I like that. I like that a lot, actually. Mega Blaziken. What can Mega Blaziken do versus this team? I can outspeed Mega Lucario. Vacuum Wave does a crap ton of damage, but I can outspeed Mega Lucario, and I can potentially, do good stuff to that. I can kill the Mawile. I can probably take an Extreme Speed from Dragonite and kill that. Anyway, let's go to Kangaskhan. Kangaskhan does a lot of work. Actually, it doesn't do a lot of work. It does a lot of work versus Landorus, Cresselia, and Dragonite. Zapdos is for the Dragonite and the Lucario. It really takes care of them well. It also takes care of the Mawile really well, so I really like Zapdos for this. But now, what am I dealing with here? What are my issues? A Mawile, a Mega Lucario, a Cresselia. I feel like Kangaskhan is the way to go. So Garchomp, Zapdos, and Mega Kangaskhan, which, by the way, I'm running a Special Kangaskhan. Special Kangaskhan is actually really scary because you're almost never going to be prepared for it. And that's what really helps Mega Kangaskhan really do well. However, I don't know how you would build a team around Mega Kangaskhan, but I do know that if I were to say, for example, have a Blaziken-centric team, Mega Kangaskhan is a perfect teammate Mega for it, you know, because it's special and it really deals with a lot of the things that you don't want to deal with or recoil or whatever. Anyway, our opponent starts off with Mega Mawile. It's better you see the Mega Kangaskhan in action rather than me talking, because in the heat of a battle, oh boy. So I'm going to use Earthquake first because he's going to use Play Rough or something, and next turn he's going to use Sucker Punch. So it's better that instead of Stealth Rock first, I should use Earthquake. That way, next turn, I set up the Stealth Rock when he goes for Sucker Punch, and I can actually make use of that Sucker Punch turn instead of this dying second turn because I want to use Earthquake after using Stealth Rock the first turn. So I'm going to start off with the Earthquake, and my opponent can also miss, you know what I'm saying? So there are many possibilities out there. And I can even play a lot of games with Stealth Rock shenanigans. So next turn I can use Stealth Rock, but the turns after that, or you know what? I can get a critical hit. So it's in my favor to go for Earthquake first. That is unfortunate. That really is for my opponent because, yeah, that's actually extremely unfortunate. Speaking of which, that thing might use Extreme Speed on me. Now I'm going to use a Rock Tomb because I don't need to use Stealth Rock. Because this thing's scale is broken and it's slower, and now I can Outrage. And there's no Fairy type, so I can do whatever the hell I want to do. And this guy, oh boy. This guy used Thunder Punch. He predicted the Azumarill to come in. That was a good move. However, why would you run Thunder Punch? To each their own. Yeah, that Mawile turn, first turn, that really sucked for my opponent, not gonna lie. Right now I can go for a Rock Tomb, but it's not gonna do too much damage. I'm still gonna use Rock Tomb because I feel like he might... Okay, he's gonna forfeit. So that was a quick game. It's very unfortunate for my opponent that I got the critical hit with the Earthquake, because usually what happens... I mean, I've won games versus Mawile leads before, but I mean, they go down to the last Pokemon or the second Pokemon. You know, Garchomp usually puts in the greatest amount of work versus Mawile leads. I'm not saving. There's no need to save this. What happens is Garchomp goes for the Stealth Rock the second turn after getting Play Roughed, and they try to Sucker Punch, and that doesn't work out. Anyways, I'm gonna click yes for this. And they think that they can Sucker Punch, but it's not gonna work. Now I can keep on going for Stealth Rocks to stall out the Sucker Punch, or I can switch into Zapdos, and I can just have fun from there, right? But usually it doesn't really go like that. But that's the problem with Mawile. Sucker Punch is an issue. Battle Box. We're gonna go in for another game. Very quick. That critical hit was very unfortunate for our opponent. We are back at 1828. This was the amount of points I had a few games ago. I'm liking what we're doing, but we have to. If we hit 1900, we're in top 1000. But if we hit 2000, we are guaranteed top 1000 by the end of the season. So our opponent has a Raikou, Suicune, Kangaskhan, Garchomp, Cresselia, Heatran. Garchomp is pretty much a Landorus. That's okay. All right. As you can see, Kangaskhan, Cresselia, Heatran, and Suicune are cores that are going to be on practically all the high teams. Potential leads. I want to start off with Kangaskhan because I think the Stealth Rocks are coming from the thing, whatever that's called, Garchomp. Maybe not, but it's whatever. And, you know, it might... I don't know what it's going to do first turn. So I'm just going to switch into Zapdos. Zapdos can also deal with the Suicune. It can also deal with the I was about to say Gengar, with the Garchomp. So that's beautiful. That's absolutely gorgeous. Blaziken puts in work. I can't lie. Blaziken puts in crazy amount of work. Cresselia is an issue. But Reuniclus, like, the problem is that, okay, Reuniclus can take on Cresselia, Heatran, Suicune, and Raikou. Kangaskhan plus Zapdos. They should be able to deal with Kangaskhan and Raikou. So Reuniclus can clean up the team. My bad, sorry, Kangaskhan and Scarfchomp, but Garchomp. Blaziken actually, it KOs the Raikou. I'm going to use Reuniclus. I feel like Reuniclus can set up and just party. So, where's Reuniclus? So this is going to be the debut of Reuniclus. And this is versus a team like this that I feel maybe Blaziken can put in crazy work. But I feel like it wouldn't. And it's just, I mean, that's why I put Reuniclus on this team. So it's like a safety net, right? So we'll see what happens. They don't have Breloom and they don't have Landorus. Instead, they have Garchomp and they have Raikou. It's very easy to remember this because I know the standard team by heart. I'm just going to Mega Evolve and I'm just going to straight up go for the Shadow Ball. Straight up go for the Shadow Ball. This is going to be a Cresselia. Amazing. I Mega Evolved, right? Yeah. Amazing. I did not predict that. I'll tell you right now, I didn't predict that. I predicted it was going to be a Rocky Helmet Suicune, but I forgot that there's a Cresselia on the team. Why would it be Rocky Helmet? I went for the Shadow Ball, and that was the best play because Suicune maximum HP. That I know that this is that 1/3 is not a lot of damage. I understand that, but listen, Shadow Ball again and again and again. You have 40% chance to get a special defense drop, and then you can KO it with Shadow Ball easy. And when it has low health, you can just Seismic Toss. It really doesn't matter. Now I use Shadow Ball instead of Seismic Toss because Suicune has over 200 health. See, there's a special defense drop, and now this thing is gonna do so. Yeah. So I need to Shadow Ball, and then I need to Seismic Toss versus a Suicune. And I'm going to use Shadow Ball again. He might switch into Suicune. He might switch into Kangaskhan. But I don't, it's whatever. I mean, I can just switch into, or he can just use Psychic and he can die. Now, at this point, if I had a Blaziken with me, I would be gorgeous right now. But anyway, so about the Suicune. So Suicune has over 200 health, and it might even have leftovers. So I have to Shadow Ball first, and then after that, Seismic Toss, Seismic Toss. Now, if it's Rest, Calm Mind, we're in trouble. But I think this guy is actually going to be a Sheer Cold variant. That's what I'm thinking. Because there's no other... I mean, yeah, okay, so it is a Sheer Cold variant, as I just predicted that. I don't have any sturdy Pokemon. It really doesn't matter. I mean, and the special defense drop doesn't matter either. This thing is specially defensive. I want to see if there's no point in switching. And Reuniclus can't set up on this guy either because Sheer Cold, bam, bam. So I'm just going to use Seismic Toss. Sheer Cold might kill me, or it might not. Seismic Toss is great. Sheer Cold is hit or miss, so, you know, it's that simple. But this Pokemon is so bulky, it doesn't matter. I am going to use... Should I use Shadow Ball or should I use Seismic Toss? I got a special defense drop. I don't think it's worth it. I'm just going to use Seismic Toss. I'm pretty sure it's going to kill, so... And he still misses the Sheer Cold, but now I'm paralyzed. Now, I tried Suicune with Sheer Cold myself and team testing like a month ago or whatever, and it did not perform. But, I mean, you never know. See, it still didn't hit. So, Sheer Cold Suicune is legit. Guillotine, what's that thing called? Guillotine Gliscor is also legit. However, it's 30%. It's the same chance of Scald Burning, but you know what? It's hit or miss. And I think we beat this guy. Actually, I don't know. I hope I beat this guy. If we get paralyzed, we lose. Oh my god. Oh my goodness. Did that seriously just happen? Oh my god. It's fine. It's fine. Oh boy. This is not going to end well. I'm going to go into Reuniclus. If God, this stinks. I am going to use Psychic. He's going to go for the Outrage and do scary, scary, scary damage to me. Oh boy. Oh crap, he's not. Damn it, I lose this. Oh boy. If I was Life Orb, I would have killed this. I'm actually Safety Goggles. And if I had an Azumarill, I'd win. Ah. I lose this game. Unbelievable. That's what paralysis does, you know? Can't really do anything about that. Honestly speaking, if I did bring the Blaziken, I would have won. And I didn't bring Blaziken. So whatever. If I brought Azumarill, I would have won. Hidden Power Ice. We're dead. We're not surviving. No way in hell. That stinks. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I can't be too angry because, I mean, he did miss. He didn't even land one Sheer Cold. Not that it. I mean, honestly, if he landed a Sheer Cold, we would have been in a better chance. He didn't land a Sheer Cold, so that actually worked against us because we would have had a free switch into Zapdos, and that would weaken Garchomp enough that we would basically win. So that actually worked in his favor, and that he had a para chance, and that para came through, and he ended up winning. But it was well played on my part, and judging from my opponent's team, it was well played from their part as well. It was a good game. It's just the way the die rolled. Last game, honestly, that crit on the Mawile, at the end of the day, we don't know if it would have mattered or not. From my experience, it most of likely probably would not have mattered, but that just ended the game shorter than it had to. But this game, for sure, it was well played on both sides, so I really hope you enjoyed this game because it was really well played on both sides. It was just down to that paralysis turn, and I would have won the game otherwise. So good games to all of my opponents, and I hope that we can actually have a good winning streak after this. This is GroudonEmpire. Peace out.